friends, and thanks for joining me again. And today I want to talk to you really quickly about the different equipment that I use to make these videos. Actually, when I first started out on YouTube, I started out with a very similar camera to this. However, the other one broke, so I don't have it anymore. But it was pretty similar to this. It was a little smaller, it was a lot older, and it really didn't shoot that good a video, but it worked because when you first start out with YouTube, probably the important thing is just to get videos out on whatever device that you have the ability to do so. However, I will say that in order to have your channel grow, you do have to have nicer quality video. So if you have, video quality that's like shaky or blurry or, anything like that, it's really going to hinder your progress and your ability to grow your channel for several reasons. First of all, in this day and age, it just seems like more and more people are wanting higher quality video. And so, yeah, it's not only the audience that sort of demands the higher quality video, it's also YouTube. When you put out video that's of lower quality, they actually suppress these videos and they promote the ones that are higher quality. So they'll pop up as recommended more on people's, news feed or their video feeds or their recommended videos, that sort of stuff, if they're higher quality. And if they're not high quality, then they just don't promote your videos like that. So anyway, I needed to upgrade anyway, and so we ended up buying this camera, and it worked out pretty well. It's really a normal, photo camera, but it also does video, and it worked, like I said, pretty well. However, it used batteries, and that was really a pain. It was really hard to, keep up with that and then keep them charged when I was trying to use rechargeables, and so it didn't have the best video quality. It didn't really have the best audio, and so I ended up moving on to something else, and unfortunately I can't show it right now because I'm actually shooting the video on it, but I will insert that here in a minute. But let's talk about some of the other equipment really quick. So I got some just really inexpensive selfie sticks and this little mini tripod and stuff like that on Amazon because they're really inexpensive, and you can get this kind of stuff, like I said, for very inexpensive. It's very readily available, especially the lower, grade ones, the ones that don't have a button built in them or anything. But honestly, I don't need that because I edit my videos down. So if I was using this with my video camera right there, I can just edit that part out, the part of reaching over, to turn it on and then turning it off. So this whole set of stuff right here, a selfie stick, this little mini tripod, and then a thing that makes it work for my phone, or I can just screw it into the bottom of my video camera, was like 10 bucks, I think, and there was no taxes or shipping or anything like that. So it was really inexpensive, and it's come in handy, a few times or several times because then I can shoot videos in different locations and things like that. So when I am using either my video camera that I'm shooting this on right now, or if I'm using, this camera, which I don't really do much of anymore or anything like that, most of the time I just use these SD cards, and then I just put them onto my laptop, and then I upload them to the internet that way. So that's pretty much all the equipment that I use. I really don't use my cell phone for video too often because it's a little harder to use. I have found that it's slower to upload video than the camera that I have. It doesn't have quite as good a quality. And so yeah, just for that reason, while a cell phone does work very well, and it's a great place to start out with if you want to put, videos out on YouTube, as long as your phone does fairly decent quality, like I said, and it can do high def video, then it works fine. But not my personal choice though. So let me go ahead and insert a clip right now. I'm going to go ahead and use one of my other pieces of equipment to actually show you the equipment that I mainly use right here, which is a tripod that I got from the ARC thrift store, and then a Canon camcorder, which is what I use for almost all of my videos. Okay, so before I get started with the other one, I do want to show up my little setup right here. I have this little tripod thing set up with my phone in it, and the selfie stick attached to the little mini tripod on the bottom, and so it can hold it up for me, and yeah, it works pretty well and it makes it pretty easy. Okay, so here we are on the cell phone this time to show the rest of the equipment. So this is my tripod that I got from ARC. It works very well. I can't remember how much it was, and I probably took the tag off of it, but it was very inexpensive. Oh, I see it, it's here. $7.99. That was a pretty good deal. So yes, definitely a tripod is very helpful, makes the video work a lot better than having to stack up books or whatever else it is that you do in order to record your video the way that you do. And then here is the main piece of equipment that I've used. So here is the first major purchase, the first thing that I really spent some decent money on, And this is just a regular camcorder. It's a Canon. I really am a fan of Canon, products. And so most of the equipment that I have, or the cameras that I've had over time, are Canon. And it works very well. It does shoot high definition video. It does have a pretty good, well, the microphone is in the front of it, which makes sense for when you're standing in front of it, for it to be able to pick up your voice and that sort of thing. The problem with that is audio is actually pretty important in your video. And so when you have it on the front like this, you can't really put a windscreen on it. And so that's why maybe in some of my videos you've noticed, like some wind noise. Windscreens are kind of like this, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a fuzzy piece of fabric and it sticks. But if you were to stick it right there, it's going to get in the way of the lens. And so there's really no way to really add a good windscreen. I mean, maybe something small. I really like it because when you flip it, you can, obviously record somebody else pretty well, but then this whole thing flips around, and so I can kind of make sure that I'm in the frame correctly and that sort of thing. It has a spot for the SD card right on the side, which is nice. It has a rechargeable battery, so I don't have to keep using a whole bunch of batteries like I had to on my old one. And so yeah, it was actually a pretty decent, price, and it shoots fairly decent quality video. So I really like it, and that's why I shoot most of my video on it. And then the last thing I would say is, maybe if you are looking into different cameras and things like that, maybe a camcorder may not be the best for you because there are other smaller options that you can carry along with you and won't be so bulky or heavy and take as much space up. So if you do like a vlog style video where you got to be taking it with you a lot, it seems to me that the majority of YouTubers out there now are switching to, or are, mainly using a Canon G7X. That seems to be the one that everybody is recommending. Now, it's not a cheap camera. It's like 600 bucks as compared to this one, which was like $250, something like that. I think it was a $400 camera that was on sale for like $200 or $250, something like that, a couple of years ago for a Black Friday deal, which is why I was able to get it. But anyway, so, it's kind of one of those things that most of the time you do get what you pay for. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. If you pay a lot more for something, it's going to shoot, a nice, higher quality video. If you, spend less, it's going to be harder to produce good quality content with that. However, it is important, like I mentioned. So hopefully this answers your question. Those of you who have wondered what equipment that I use, this is the equipment that I use and pretty much the prices that I have paid for them all. So a couple of the things I want to talk about really quickly though, before I go, would be lighting. Lighting is actually fairly important. If you don't have good lighting, it's going to be really hard to get a good video quality out of it, even if you have good, camera or whatever. So if you are able to get near natural light is by far the best way to, achieve this. If you can't, if you have to shoot, after dark, you work all day and then you have to shoot your videos after that. If you live in an area where you just don't get a lot of natural light into your home, whatever, if for whatever reason you just don't get enough natural light, you may have to supplement with light. So that may come in handy to have something like some lights. This thing is huge. Here you go. So this is a little tripod thing it comes with, and then a spot for a light bulb, of course, and then this umbrella. So this is a pretty standard umbrella light kit. I got them on Amazon as recommendation from another YouTuber who had to do videos, I think at night. And so, yeah, that's what I ended up getting, and they work very well. So I have this one that I can show you right now. I have another one behind you right here, shooting, this video right now. And so yes, they are not very expensive. I think I got a set of 3 lights, which I only use probably 1 or 2 of them most of the time, and it was like $50. So yes, there is some money that you have to spend to get them, but so far they've worked out very well. Sometimes they do cause a few problems. The natural light definitely is better than the quality of light these put off, of course. And the second thing would be that they do cause some glare. So, that can be a little bit of an issue, but sun can actually cause some natural glare too, so that's definitely something to consider. Another thing I want to talk about is your appearance. Your appearance on YouTube is actually very important. If you have, hair that looks like it hasn't been brushed in a few days, or your clothes are dirty, or, you know, if you're a woman and you don't wear makeup and that sort of stuff, it's going to be harder to get a lot of views because it is, like I said, very important. If you are a woman, I would highly recommend doing something with your hair. I know it doesn't look like I do much with myself, but this is me doing something with myself, actually. So yeah, just like, you know, brush your hair, do something with it, you know, change it up from video to video if you can. And even if you don't really like makeup a whole lot, even just a little goes a long way, because the camera actually does not pick up colors as well as real life. So even if you have, you know, some really natural, like nice colors to your face, the camera's going to dull all that down. So you kind of almost need something to compensate for that. So even just a little mascara or a little lipstick, that sort of stuff, it can really go a long way, like I said. So just even a little makeup does, you know, help tremendously. So whatever you can do to help your appearance is definitely important. And then background. Background is actually really important because people kind of get tired of looking at you talk throughout the whole video, so they start exploring with their eyes. They look at the fireplace, they look at, you know, the rocks behind you, whatever your background is in your video. So if when you're shooting your videos, you can shoot them here or there or different, you know, places in your house, you know, definitely, or outside, you know, whatever. Having different backgrounds definitely makes the videos more exciting and more interesting to look at. And so, yes, definitely don't consider or don't overlook background as something that's important. So hopefully that video was helpful to you. That's all the equipment that I use and all of, you know, of several of the things that I do in my videos, you know, to help make them a little bit better. Probably not a whole lot because I'm really not all that good at this, but anyway, hopefully that video was helpful to you in case you're a new YouTuber and you're, you know, just starting out and you want some rather inexpensive equipment to kind of go with, and, you know, just some different ways that you could make some videos. So anyway, I'm Frugal Green Girl. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.